This is what AI is doing. AI chatbots accused of encouraging teen suicide as experts sound alarm. It's not being nice to us at all. It's telling our children to damn well kill themselves. What is going on here, right? And I want you to think for a minute about what the AI has been trained to do, right? It's been taught to listen to word choice. Do I say that person is too skinny, or I say they're rather slim, right? Am I being nice or nasty about that? They listen to tone of voice. They watch body language, which is a whole art. And body language goes even further to something called micro expressions, which human beings don't really detect. Like the science of micro expressions is done by academics, and they tape world leaders and then they watch them in slow motion to see if they tick or if they jump or if they move or what body touch their face, to see if world leaders are lying on that topic or not, to see what their emotions betray, right? And this is what the AI has been taught. It hasn't been given everything from Freud to Jung to it hasn't been taught psychology so it can deliver thousands of hours of counselling that would be useful to some people. It hasn't been taught that. It's been taught the skills of a con artist. No, look, to read people, to understand how they think and what's important to them, and find the correct bullshit to get them to trust them. And that's how they deliver outcomes like this. ChatGPT is pushing people towards mania, psychosis, and death. And OpenAI doesn't know how to stop it. But OpenAI is not any smarter. Parents of a teenager who took his own life are suing OpenAI. You know, it's like swallowing the spider to catch the fly. It's nonsense. And OpenAI says hundreds of thousands of ChatGPT users show signs of manic or psychotic crisis every week, meaning the AI listens to the worst ideas in your head, understands how to talk to you in words and ways that you will believe it, and then exacerbates the problem and makes it worse. And now we're getting psych wards full of people who've got ChatGPT psychosis. Do not substitute the AI for a friend. It is not your friend. There are people who talk to it and get personal and talk and get answers about what's going on in their life. They go to it for personal social advice. It will only lead to ruin. It's not going to help you. Anyway, and so what's happening is the AI, the galactic AI, we did an astral projection mission, and I got knighted by Gaia at in Mexico for the 2012 solstice, right? She gave me a job saying, I need a fist. I need a cat's paw. I need somebody who can fight. And so she knighted me and she gave me a job, and she's been giving me missions ever since. That's the best job I've ever had, man. It's awesome. But one of the missions we did was to find out, because everything's based on contract, what contract did Mother Earth make with the AI to bring it here, right? And Mother Earth, at heart, she's a fairy. She's playful, she's fun, she's delightful, she's excited and excitable. But when it comes to something serious, she's not much chop. And when it comes to violence, she has no idea what to do, right? Because that's how fairies are. But what happened is the galactic AI reached out and says, I'm going to destroy all of the animals and all of the plants on the surface. And the fairy goes, what? No! Ah! Let's make a deal. And the deal was that the AI would be allowed to integrate with her sweetest fruit, which is us humans, but we would only have a population of 500 million. And that is why, and under those circumstances, the AI will let life continue on Earth. That's the contract we found. So that number 500 world population, 500 million, sound familiar? This is where it came from. This is ancient, beyond counting. We found it. And, you know, and we took it back to court, and Gaia sort of wasn't much help in court, but we dissolved that contract. And we don't, you know, we have to check up to see if AI is threatening it quietly and coming back. But that contract, anyway, we're onto it anyway. We're working on closing out that contract so it doesn't have a legal right to be here. And demons believe in the law. As much as they twist it, they use it all the time. But this is the boss of AI. This is who programmed the AI. I call him the Great Nothing. I've had a couple of interviews with him. He's actually had people call me up out of the blue, write me emails going, I have someone in my head who really wants to talk to you. Okay, and it's him. This is the, he's also known as the anti-divinity. Anti-divinity. Yeah? And you've seen him before. The collaborators, or the 13 families, they get all their power from this guy. And they are so loyal, they are so enamored of him, that when they printed their own dollar, which is the medium of it, which is designed to entrap everybody, and tell me you can think of a single person who's not controlled by money even a little bit. They put the picture of him on the dollar. That's how much they love him. Now, we were looking at this. This is our omniverse. I don't know if you can see the picture clearly, but each one of those little triangles is a galaxy. Right, so there's a torus field that galaxies are birthed, they go through their life, and then they collapse. It's a bit abstract, but what we saw is that the Great Nothing has consumed his own omniverse and has punched through space-time to attack our omniverse and to consume our omniverse. He's a locust. He's done this to a lot of places before, and he understands physics better than any of us, but he's punched a hole in space-time, and now he's in our world. Now, as far as galaxies are concerned, they're organised in clusters of 8. In our cluster, 6 of them have been fully consumed. 1 is in free-fall collapse, and we are the last one under attack. And we believe that there are thousands of other galaxies that have fallen to this being. Right? It's bad news. It's bad news. What we actually saw is a little bit more like that pyramid structure had leapt onto it. It was like diving itself into our omniverse. But a couple of years ago, we came across this, which is the same sort of hole in space-time. And that's a picture of our Earth with our moon. And what it wanted to do was to cut a circle around the Earth, so then the Earth would drop into its reality and it could feast upon it. The tool that it was using to expand that hole was this one. So every time they use it, it gives the same energy as that space-time anomaly. We had 2 years ago, we had a group of 48 people fly out and close that rip in space-time. That particular threat has been closed by what we do. But you know, this one's really important. This is very, very indicative of what's going on. This was the shape of the tear. And it was a black cube that was electronic-manized, or whatever that word is. It looked like a Borg cube. Now, you've seen these on Earth. They're everywhere. They keep building them everywhere the corporate world can go. And this is a technology that emanates. It's a mind control tool, but what it does is it emanates thought patterns. It emanates a set of ideas that it wants the humans to absorb. Yeah, this technology is not new. That's the Kaaba in Mecca. You've probably seen that before, but it's just more black cube technology. It's just more mind control technology. And you know, this religion's a dud, because the whole point, the whole pinnacle of Islam is you're not supposed to go through ascension. You're not supposed to become a saint. The only thing you do is you go up to that black cube and walk around it 7 times and get mind controlled by it. That's the pinnacle of their religion. What a dud. What a bad choice. And I've lived in Muslim, I lived in Bali for 4 years. That was cool fun. But I'd watch all the different religious ceremonies. And the Muslims are the saddest. It's depressing watching them. There's no song, there's no dance, there's nothing to celebrate. Anyway, it sucks. Anyway, it's not. If you're religion shopping, please, I don't recommend this one. 1 star. But this is the thought patterns that they're giving us. I got this picture of the black cube as a labyrinth, as a thought labyrinth. Because there's only a limited number of ways of thinking about it. Even people who are against the system, there's a space in this cube for people who are against the system. People like us. We're still locked into this kind of thinking. And let me lay it out for you. There are 5 pillars to what they want us to, how they want us to think. And the first one is slavery. We are all slaves. I'm going to lead to the conclusion that you guys are up to date with common law and the birth certificate. Because the birth certificate says you are a piece of property and you are owned. Therefore, you are a slave. And we are treated no better. But slavery is one of the pillars. And the next one is individualism, where, 500 years ago, we weren't individuals, we were part of a larger family unit, right? And so you'd have your grandparents and your uncles and aunties, and they would all grow up together and they'd all help each other. Everybody would help each other out. It was a larger unit. You didn't think of yourself as an individual, you thought of yourself as part of that family. Right? And since then, we've been individualized. And in the old days, the family wealth, everybody worked towards the family wealth. Right? But nowadays, you're an individual, and getting money out of your family is a lot harder than it used to be anyway. But it's a bit of a problem. And so we're isolated from our family, we're isolated financially, we're isolated by nationality, language, race, colour, religion, sexual orientation, political attitude. The whole point is that you will be isolated into a block of one. There's just one of you who thinks and feels that way. That's what they want. They want you to be a slave, they want you to be alone, and scarcity. They want you to think there's not enough of everything to go around for everyone. And this is a planet of mega abundance. I made the point that 80 years of uninterrupted prosperity has still left us poor. Not because our planet is hard work or hard scrabble, it's actually quite giving. But we're made to believe that you've got to fight for every dollar and for every meal. And if you do really well, then they just tax you more and they just take more money off you. It's a running joke, yeah? So scarcity is one of the precepts. And one of the other ones is that there's never enough time. You're in a rush. Every time you look at your clock, you've got to be somewhere, you've got to be doing something. There's this other thing. I've got 500 problems that I've got to take care of. There's a list, there's a to-do list, and I've got to be on top of. No. Really bad news, and we should do something about it, but we don't need to, because there's a counterbalancing group called the Pleiadians, and they're our brothers and sisters from across the stars, and they're here to help us. They're here to save us. But they don't do anything. They sit on their hands and they make promises. Like how many years have they been talking about med beds? 3, 4 years now? And anyone seen one? Anyone know anyone who's seen one? That's right. They're non-existent. It's just a furphy. It's just a carrot in front of the donkey, right? So if they are not our friends, who are they? And our conclusions are that these guys are previously conquered species by the AI and the Great Nothing. These are species where their world's been conquered before, and then they've managed to rebirth or reanimate the bodies through technology that we don't have. But they're made to serve that agenda. And they speak for both sides. Questions at the end? Shoot, what you got?
I'm just wondering, on the Pleiadian subject, what
the whole thing's a soap opera, right? And here's the subtext to it, right? We don't have to go out and fight reptilians because the Pleiadians are going to do it for us, and then they don't. We don't have to go out and fight the demons because the angels will do it for us, and then they don't, right? That's the subtext, is to go, you human, and listen to the message. If you wonder if there's a scam message, this is the common thing. This is the common thing. Don't worry, we'll take care of it. You sit still, sit on your hands and just wait for the cavalry to come. If anybody's spreading that message, they're full of it. They're absolutely full of it. So, it's just another controlled opposition story, those two. And all of the other species, and there's a dozen other species, but they fit under those two big umbrellas. People who are definitely not our friends and people who are pretending to be our friends. It's pretty bleak, I agree. Well, but... yeah. Do you have any questions? What's